Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a London City Council meeting turned tense yesterday as the community presses for answers for the death of Doug Harless.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and happy Tuesday, Mountain family. My name is Amelia Lee here with you on this February 4th at 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, let's check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at the forecast this morning. Megan, we've had some warmer temperatures recently, and I was very grateful to, one, not have to scrape off my car windows, and two, deal with fog in my area at least.
Yeah, that was pretty nice this morning. I walked out and I did not even need my jacket. I took it off and put it in my passenger seat. It was quite nice. Yes, no rain either, no fog. It was a good start to the morning, and we'll continue to see some nice weather for now. But those temperatures are dropping as we did have a cold front come in this morning. Let's take a look at satellite and radar. As of right now, you can see just some clouds. We have just a little bit of some precipitation towards Harlan County this morning, but very little. We're talking just that drizzle that we'll continue to see for the next couple of hours. Here's a look at those current temperatures. Right now we are quite warm. Some places seeing 60s, even 61 as you're heading towards Harlan, 63 in Jacksboro. Coolest temperature in the area, Manchester, and even that is in the upper 40s, when normally this time of year we look in the mid 40s for our high temperature. Now we will see those temperatures drop a little bit as we're going through the next couple of hours, seeing it dip to the low 30s in the midday hours and then hitting our secondary high around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the mid 50s. But take a look at 7 o'clock. That's when you're really starting to see that drop overnight, because those overnight low temperatures will be in the upper 30s.
I think the people and the voters of this community deserve to hear the truth. All we hear is transparency.
Tensions were high at last night's London City Council meeting as community members continue voicing their dissatisfaction with officials. Video shows one man being escorted outside by officers. Some sought answers for the death of Doug Harless, a man shot and killed by police while trying to serve a warrant in December. James Jones is one person demanding transparency. He played a recording he says shows one council member asking him to badmouth London's mayor.
And the only reason why that Anthony Ortega and Kelly and Judd and Justin and Stacy all agreed to let me speak today is because they thought I was going to stand here and bash the mayor of London.
The council also walked out of the meeting while Jones was speaking. One member on the council confirmed knowing Jones, but did not explicitly confirm his voice on the recording. State troopers are investigating Harless's death. Officials with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office announced deputies will soon wear body cameras. The fiscal court voted to approve a contract with Motorola for 36 body cameras and associated storage software for nearly $27,000 per year. This will be the first time Laurel County deputies will wear body cameras. Judge Executive David Westerfield says it will help with transparency and accountability.
This takes away any doubt when there's a traffic stop or a situation where the sheriff are involved, and when they have the body cameras, then that eliminates all doubt. They can see, and that way things get settled much easier and much quicker.
Laurel County Sheriff John Root says they expect the body cams to be fully operational in mid to late March. The potential expansion of a transitional housing center in Johnson County has representatives for the city of Paintsville asking for a change. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has the latest.
Officials with the city of Paintsville are expressing concerns about the Johnson County Fiscal Court's plans to expand Addiction Recovery Care's Opportunity Center.
The residents over there have been hit hard before. They don't need to be hit again. The businesses over there actually do not want that type of facility over there.
Mayor Bill Mike Runyon says in November he was informed of plans to expand the existing transitional housing center from a 20-unit facility to a 50-unit space, which he claims would bring more people and more issues to an already central hub of crime in the city.
It's really not data that was gathered, but talking to all of my police officers, they all said that it's around 60% of the time That's where most of the calls come from.
Judge Executive Mark McKenzie responded to the concerns on social media, saying the county was working to address the community's concerns of the unhoused population and the drug problem in the area, which is where the housing facility came into play. He said the Opportunity Center is, quote, changing lives and making an impact in a very positive way. Runyon said the city's newly renovated athletic fields and soon-to-be renovated swimming pool and park are located near the building, and it could be detrimental to grow the mission in this central location, saying it is not good for the city or its taxpayers.
As far as I'm concerned, would be out in the county. If the fiscal court wants to put that type of facility in to help people, which we're all about helping people, don't get me wrong.
But Steve Mollett says the center was the only move for him and his son, who is paralyzed.
I know people put homeless people down a lot and things like that, but these people here are actually the ones that are there for you.
He says the center opened its doors to them when they were most in need, helping him get back on his feet during the last few weeks and giving him a sign of hope.
Before we came here, we were sleeping in these gazebos over here in town, you know, and it 3 or 4 inches of snow on them, and that was miserable. You know, we lay there every night, you know, worried if the law was going to come and run us off, you know, or what, you know.
Saying the center gave him a safe space, food, a shower, and a sense of community, unlike anything he has experienced.
Yeah, this place here has just given us so much. I don't think I could ever give back, you know, what it's gave to us.
And as he works to get on a better track, he says it is a needed program for the people of Paintsville and beyond.
I just can't emphasize enough, you know, that this place saved our life. You know, it really did.
In Johnson County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Mayor Runyon invited Paintsville residents to submit written comments to the county before Wednesday, saying he knows many community members do not support the expansion of the facility. You can see his full statement and the response from the county on our website, WYMT.com. As Robert F. Kennedy Jr. continues through the confirmation process to become the next Secretary of Health and Human Services, some lawmakers are questioning his stance on vaccines. According to the CDC, many children in rural areas are not getting the recommended vaccines to protect against diseases. Kids in rural areas are more vulnerable to serious diseases compared to those in urban areas.
It's very important to get your vaccines because, you know, one person getting it can spread it to the whole family, and if you're immune compromised, then, you know, you could run the risk of severe illness, even to death.
Along with factors like lack of transportation, health insurance, or health literacy in rural areas, Dr. McPherson says families, get-togethers, and social gatherings in these areas lead to the spread of illness. He says the more people that get the vaccines, symptoms will become milder if you do get sick.
We're not talking fog this morning, looking nice and clear, but we are talking about those temperatures dropping the next couple of hours. Let's take a look at the visibility first. As you can see, nice and tens across the area. Now we are seeing some fog as you're traveling more towards Louisville, so if you're heading that way this morning, you might be interacting with a patch of fog or two. Let's talk satellite and radar, because as of right now, we are nice and clear, seeing the clouds moving into our region, and just a little bit of a drizzle possible as you're traveling towards Harlan County this morning. Now, temperatures though. Here's what we're looking at. Very nice and warm this morning. Most places are in the 50s, and if you're not in the 50s, with the exception of Manchester, you're in the 60s. 61 degrees as you're heading towards Harlan, and 63 in Jacksboro. So quite the warm morning, but unfortunately these temperatures will not be staying, as we will see them drop the next couple hours, looking in the upper 50s by 7, and by 11 we're looking at the low 50s. Now we will warm up a little bit as we're heading into that 3 o'clock hour, but not by too much. Still staying in the low to mid 50s as our secondary high of today. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Salvage and recovery efforts persist in the aftermath of the D.C. plane crash last week as officials continue to identify victims.